Hi, my name is Danielle Glosson and I'm in the Masters of Entrepreneurship program at Western Carolina University. Today I'll go over the process of developing a business plan and explain its importance to both an entrepreneur and investor. I will emphasize each step of a business plan specifically on how to determine long-term objectives, capital budgeting, and marketing subjects. According to the U.S. Small Business Administration, the following are to be included in a business plan: executive summary, company description, market analysis, organization and management, service or product line, marketing and sales, funding request, financial projections, and an appendix. Okay, so let's go in a little more detail. The executive summary is the first part of the business plan, and it consists of a mission statement which explains what the business is able to do. Um, the company information is a short statement stating when the business was formed, the founders and their roles, the number of employees, where the business is located. The product and services is a brief description of what you are selling. Any highlights of the business, you can include that. They might, want graphs, charts, whatever can be useful for visuals can be in this section. Financial information, so this includes current support from investors and banks. You can also include if you're seeking more financial capital. Last, the future plans or goals. That's where you're going to forecast where you would like to see the business go in the future. The company description. This reviews each element of the business and helps readers quickly understand the goal and the proposition. You want to research and describe the target market, explaining how you meet the market's needs, as well as competitive advantages such as location, knowledge, technology that'll set your business apart. This section also includes a list of any specific customers, organizations, or businesses the company currently serves. Startup companies may not have any information to document, but this section should be updated following any new involvements. The market analysis. So this section, it includes things like SWOT, PEST, Porter's Five Forces, and Porter's value chain analysis of the business. So what are your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, political, economic, social, and technological influences of the business? The more in-depth research on your target market, industry trends, geographic area, pricing structure, regulatory restrictions, and competition, the better. Not only is it beneficial to the success of the business, but potential investors want to know the entrepreneur's level of commitment. Detailed research and market analysis indicates a promising future for the business. Organization and management. This section will highlight all the individuals involved in the business and how they're going to contribute. You want to include an organizational chart detailing who's in charge of what, who reports to who, and you should also outline any ownership information stating the type of business, the names of the owners, as well as materials included for board of directors. So things to include in the service or product line section is a description of the item or service you'll be selling. The life cycle, this will be useful if you're a startup phase and you project the changes or adjustments to a prototype, and then maybe any kind of further extension to the product line for growth and sales. The intellectual property, so this will be if you have any existing pending or anticipated copyright or patent filings, trade secrets, and any other information pertaining to the existing legal agreements such as a non-disclosure or non-compete agreement are also gathered in this service or product line section. Last is the research and development activities. It'll show the analysis of the business efforts and others in the industry. R&D is critical for growth and goals to surpass your competitors. An entrepreneur needs to define the marketing strategy before continuing with the selling strategy. So we'll talk about the overall marketing strategy. It's an ongoing process and is unique to the business. The SBA suggests experimenting with 4 different strategies: market strategy, a growth strategy, so buying another business, franchising, those kind of things to grow your business. Channels of distribution strategy, so that includes your distributors and retailers. And then a communication strategy, so really amping up your marketing efforts with promotions, public relations, catalogs, etc. The sales strategy has two elements and describes how to sell the products. The sales force strategy requires the business to decide if they want internal or external representatives, how many recruits are needed for the sales force, how do you recruit the best team, and then how will they be trained, and finally, what will they be compensated for the sales. Next, you have the sales activities, and it's important because you want to find out who you need to contact, and selecting the highest potential buyers, then calculating the average number of sale calls needed to make per sale, the average dollar size per sale, and the average dollar size per vendor. For funding and the exit strategy, again, you are informing a significant amount of detail about the current business and the future plans. Listing current and future financial goals can help an investor decide how much they're willing to contribute. An exit strategy is also essential in landing an investor because if something happens to the business, they want to know your mindset on an exit strategy. Will you sell the company, merge, or make the shares a free-for-all? The business plan does repeat certain topics throughout the document, but the financial projections will go into much more detail. An entrepreneur should list the historical financial data and the projected financial data for at least 2 to 5 years out. All these calculations, they originate from the financial statements. So that's your balance sheet, the income statement, and the sources and uses of cash. Finally, we have the appendix page. This section includes any resumes, letter of reference, market studies, license, permits or patents, legal documents, contracts, that sort of stuff. So now that you have an idea of how to develop a business plan, I've included a sample, and it's kind of small here, so I apologize for that, but you can see there's a lot of graphs, there's charts. Over here, there's Excel sheets that have the financial statements on there, so it's very, very, very detailed. But that helps you in your business, and especially if you're trying to reach out to investors, so they really get an idea of what all's going on in your company. So the plan, it takes time, and the material, it can be very overwhelming. So a business has the option of purchasing a service, and in this case I have the Lee Business and Accounting Services. It's a $5,000 fee for the basic package, and for this specific accounting service they include a group workshop, so that's your whole group of managers and employees and everybody who's working on it. It's a one-day thing, and they go over all this kind of stuff, and they also will incorporate an online group webinar afterwards to overview and answer any kind of questions. And so that's a month later. They'll have another session where they'll present and implement the plan. So a month after all of the worksheets are all submitted, they'll talk about any kind of information that pops up or questions. And then you have a follow-up monitoring session. That's 3 months after this business plan has been into effect and implemented for your company. And they also offer a bonus fee session. So that's out there if people get overwhelmed and need that extra support to develop the business plan. There's companies out there that can help you with that. Thank you guys for listening to my screencast on developing a business plan. It's critical for every business. It's definitely detailed, but it's worth it. You can definitely see everything on paper and encourage your investors to invest in the business. Here's a list of references if you want to go back and take a look.